Backfired. Putin's prison recruits spiral out of Russia's control.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russian President Vladimir Putin admitted Thursday that Russia has been attacking Ukrainian energy infrastructure and leaving countless Ukrainians without clean water and power as a way to exact revenge for attacks on Crimea. The Russian president, who appeared to smirk while he made the remarks about attacking civilians in Ukraine, indicated that Russia would continue to strike energy infrastructure. Putin's brazen comments at the ceremony come almost 2 months after Russia blamed Ukraine for an attack on the Kerch Bridge. The attacks could be a signal that Ukraine's government may now be more willing to take the fight into Russia proper, now that Moscow has entered its 10th month of waging an unprovoked war on Ukraine. Ukraine has claimed responsibility for some attacks in Crimea, including one against Russia's Sakhay airbase there. A senior Ukrainian official told the New York Times early this week that Ukraine carried out the attacks in Russia using drones. While Putin may try to frame Russian efforts to cripple Ukrainian infrastructure just as winter settles in as revenge, the attacks have raised questions about whether the Kremlin recognizes that Putin's war plans are faltering.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Nobody could have predicted prisoners would not make good soldiers.
Next you'll tell me slaves make terrible factory workers.
Prisoners with jobs. On program.
Don't forget the 4 that escaped a training camp in Belarus and were running around public streets with machine guns.
That's just Russia on a normal day.
That's now new Russia on a normal day.
Preceded by a vodka breakfast.
Coffee, vodka, cigarette. Is good day to have Kalashnikov by side.
The 4 food groups.
The only solution is to kill your officers as soon as you get a gun.
Yup. If it seems you will die either way, you will have absolutely nothing left to lose.
Greater than Wagner recruiters showed execution videos to inmates in the facility's recreation room. We will randomly slaughter you, isn't a great recruitment slogan.
It's kind of weird that it worked. You can come with us, and we will use you as cannon fodder. If you survive 6 months, you'll get your freedom. If you try to escape, we will execute you. Oh boy, sign me up. Just goes to show how fucking awful Russian prisons must be.
They probably thought, I'll just run away and escape. Can't execute me if I flee. Taps in forehead.
For 17/20ths it seems to be working pretty well. Not terrible odds vs Russian prison, I assume.
Let's be honest. Has anything spiraled into Russia's control?
Permanent UN Security Council member?
They kind of inherited that position, as it's supposed to be for the USSR. Which Kazakhstan was the last to officially leave the USSR. So in theory they should have the UNSC position.
Russia inherited USSR debts and obligations. That was the exchange.
They also inherited USSR assets, so it's fair trade. Additionally, they basically stolen all ex-Soviet republics' funds that were deposited in Central Bank of USSR.
Greater than they also inherited USSR assets. I think Putin would argue they didn't inherit quite enough of them though. Perhaps after this war wrecks Russia's as army, some of the former Soviet states could go get their money back?
Let's give machine guns and grenades to prisoners.
Who we abused and beat.
And threatened to execute if they ran.
And left them undertrained, fed, and equipped with low morale.
And freezing.
This is a blockbuster movie waiting to happen. I just need to figure out who would be in this film,
For Russian propaganda purposes, Steven Seagal probably.
I kinda want to see a really low-budget Russian propaganda action movie starring Seagal, now.
Apparently the guy doesn't even need to stand up from his chair to do action scenes these days. He's just that good.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.